Psychonauts.
Psycho D's nut.
Get out of my way, Jeff. Welcome to Whispering Rock. It's the Psychic Summer Camp. This camp, right, trains kids with psychic abilities to become Psychonauts. The Psychonauts are elite special agents. The game opens to the kids sitting around a campfire, right? Coach Oleander is briefing the kids about what to expect.
You shall chase his dreams! You shall fight his demons!
2 more Psychonauts join the kids around the campfire.
Oh, Maury.
Children, you are not going to die.
This one's name is Sasha 9, and this is Mila Vodello. Suddenly, a figure falls out of the tree above. Oh my god, look up. It's a kid who has snuck into the camp. His name is Rapunzel AQUATO.
Are you sure about that?
His name is Rasputin AQUATO, and he is the protagonist.
My name
Starts with a D.
is Rasputin.
Rasputin explains that he is a runaway from his home because he wants to join the Psychonauts. Oh, please. So the adults tell him that they will contact his parents so that they can come pick him up. You are not welcome here at the camp.
We need to have this young man taken from here immediately.
I'll call his parents.
The next day, Mila tells Raz, short for Rasputin, that his parents are on their way. Raz becomes friends with another kid, Dogan. Dogan wears a tinfoil hat to stop his powers from blowing other people's heads up.
And then you'll make their heads explode?
Do you do that?
No. Well, once kinda.
And then he goes, oh look, an old man.
Yes.
The old man says, I am the camp janitor and also the chef.
Don't push me, Sonny. I can reach you with this spatula.
All the kids, they go and they head to Coach Oleander's basic training, and Raz gets to tag along. Oleander allows Raz to stay to gauge his powers. Oh, why not? Let's see how psychic you really are.
How many numbers are behind my back? It's 11.
The training doesn't take place in the real world, however.
Using their psychic powers, the kids are able to enter Coach Oleander's mind.
Wipe shoes. Coach Oleander's mind is a giant war zone. The kids have to make their way through his mind to pass. Now, through the training, Rez meets a few more of the kids, okay?
Look at them.
They look like Hey Arnold characters, but 3D. Right, the first is Bobby ZILCH, and he is the camp bully.
The whole camp is stupid.
Bobby pushes Raz off a ledge. Raz, though, is saved by another kid, Lily Zanotto.
Thanks for saving me.
Actually, I was saving this plant.
Lily is the daughter of the Psychonauts leader. His name's Truman Zenardo.
That's a conflict of interest.
Nepotism.
Yeah.
Disgusting. Raz easily completes the rest of the training. Coach Oleander congratulates him and hands him his first merit badge. Here you go. And then Jeff takes over for a while.
Sasha 9 shows up. Mr. 9 is impressed by Raz's power and invites him to his lab for more training.
Report to my lab for some advanced training.
Raz explores the rest of the camp and he discovers an underground rail system. This rail system allows him to travel around the camp quickly.
Welcome to the Whispering Rocket Underground Rapid Transit System.
The rail takes them to a giant underground control center.
Ooh.
This is a large glowing stone in the center of the wherever we are.
Yep.
And the stone is a fragment of a meteor. Well, it would be a meteorite, because a meteorite is something that lands on Earth. A meteor is something that's still in space. Anyway, which emits psychoactive energy. Why?
What do you mean, why? What do you want me to say about that?
Here, suddenly, Raz meets an old man again. And it turns out that the old man is one of the founding Psychonauts. And his name is Ford Cruller.
You're Ford Cruller, the greatest leader the Psychonauts ever had.
Well, you shouldn't believe everything you read in True Psychic Tales magazine.
Suddenly, Cruller suffers from dissociated personality disorder.
Yeah, that's why he's around the camp as like the janitor and the chef.
Who am I? What am I?
I don't think it's very sudden. I think it's something that takes a lot of years to develop.
Only when near the glowing fragment does he regain control over his power. Ford offers Raz a piece of bacon. Here you go. Thanks very much. The bacon can be used to call upon Ford in times... I already ate it. Sorry. Can I have another one, please?
I just love bacon. I smell that stuff and I can't help it. I drop everything and come running.
Now, Ford also helps train Raz and helps him to unlock new powers. Raz finds a geodesic dome psycho isolation chamber. And inside is a trapdoor which leads to Sasha 9's secret lab. I'll go to the first 8 first. Inside, Sasha shows Raz a machine called the Brain Tumbler. The Brain Tumbler allows Raz to enter his own mind. Oh my god.
Now just relax. This will not hurt. Unless something really very bad happens.
Inside Raz's mind is a rundown circus carriage. Raz reveals that this carriage is where he was born. So Raz's family are circus performers, and they hate psychics. Why?
Because generations ago, Raz's family was cursed by a psychic, and the curse was that they would all die by water. And so Raz has a big fear of water.
I am under the water.
Raz decides to head inside the carriage, and he finds himself a giant egg.
He's inside of it.
Oh, I'm out of the egg now. And he continues exploring his mind. Raz finds a dark, mysterious figure, and that figure is suddenly trying to kill Raz. I'm gonna get ya. Sasha pulls Raz out. Oh, thank you. You have saved me. Sasha tells Raz, by the way, you can overcome your demons with enough training. Sasha invites Raz, why don't you come into my mind? Now, Raz, I will teach you how to use your psychic blast ability.
I'm gonna tell you about the senses, Raz. Senses are the mind's natural defense against intrusive thoughts. And you, Raz, are an intrusive thought in my head. So Sasha's senses try to kill Raz, but he defeats them and masters the psychic blast ability.
Raz then heads back into his own mind with a newfound confidence, and he defeats the shadowy monster. He finds his own memory vault. 0, 0, 0, 0. And he finds a suppressed memory. Now that memory was of Raz as a circus performer with his family. He was a clown. Raz was handed a camp pamphlet by a mysterious figure, and his father discovers this pamphlet and he destroys it. You will live the life of a carny. Raz has run away from home. I'm gonna join the Psychonauts.
Screw you, Dad.
While in his mind, Raz finds a large, twisting tower, and at the top is a dentist's office, okay? At the dentist's office, Dogen, who we saw before, remember him, he is strapped to a chair as the cackling dentist removes his brain, which is not the job of a dentist.
Usually.
The brain! You see, son, it's just no good. I hate to be so blunt, but you have the insanity of a manatee.
I know.
It's a vision! But Raz can't quite tell because he can't reach the top of the tower. And Sasha pulls him out of the tumbler and says, I can't help you with this, but maybe Mia Vodello, the other Psychonaut, can help you reach that next stage.
Alright, I guess I will, says Raz. Then he heads off to the camp docks at Lake Oblongata. Now, Dogen walks out of the water, just covered in seaweed and stuff, and he is oblivious to Raz. Now, Raz peers through his ear, and he can see all the way to the other side.
Hey, Vsauce, Michael here.
Oh god, no. Dogen's brain has been taken. He blows into the hole and it makes a lovely noise. It is traditional music of the circus people. Raz finds Mila on the docks. As she says to Raz, your dad's gonna be here tomorrow. Boy, is that a long drive. How did you get here on foot?
Don't worry, I got in contact with your father and he's going to be here tomorrow to pick you up.
So Raz then tells Lily, let me tell you about my vision. 2020 I do. Now Lily says, oh my god, I had the same vision. I must head off to investigate. Goodbye, Raz.
Let's rendezvous tonight at the old boathouse for debriefing.
Raz then explains to Mila that Sasha sent him to learn how to levitate. I would like to fly, please. And Mila reluctantly says, okay, step into me head. Now, Mila's mind is a huge dance party. Oh my god. And Finley is there. That's a Frog Detective reference.
I get it.
Raz finds some of Mila's memories. Mila turns out once worked at an orphanage.
You keep saying Mila, her name's Mia.
So Mila was out doing some grocery shopping. But then she came home and found that she left the orphanage on fire. The children all died and she could hear their screams and their pain as the fire seared their flesh and the smoke choked their lungs. And their skin melted to the furniture.
These are awfully descriptive, Bill. Are you okay?
What did I do?
She vowed to protect all children from now on, and I will become a psychonaut. Right, then Raz learns how to levitate, and he races against some of the other kids through Mila's mind, why not? And he heads back to Sasha's lab. It's got air conditioning.
Time to get to my dentist appointment.
Sasha suddenly discovers...
There's something else messing with your mind, Raz.
The thoughts of some other entity are interlacing with yours at a dangerous level.
So Raz jumps into his own mind again through the tumbler, and he uses his new powers to levitate up to the dentist's office. He sees Dogen and the mad dentist. The dentist is using some weird powder to make Dogen sneeze. He sneezes out his own brain. The dentist then just throws Dogen's brain down a chute and leaves. Raz jumps into the chute after the brain, and at the bottom, he finds blueprints for a tank.
What is happening?
This tank is very special because it harnesses the brains of psychic individuals in order to power the tank. As Raz is looking at the blueprints, Dogen's brain is inserted into the blueprint and the tank comes to life. The tank attacks Raz using its psychic powers, and Raz manages to defeat it.
Is this a nightmare? Or a plan?
What's this? I'm in a strange hallway now, says Raz to himself out loud. He realizes, oh my god, I'm in Coach Oleander's mind. Oleander wants to use the psychic tanks to take over the world. Oh my god. Raz is then pulled out of the tumbler. It's Sasha 9, and she says while she's running away,
I have official Psychonaut business. Good luck with, your brain and stuff. Bye.
Raz then goes, I better talk to Ford Cruller. Oleander has gone rogue, and he needs to be stopped. Raz says, I better go find Lily at the boathouse. So he heads out there, but along the way, he discovers that more campers have had their brains removed.
The dentist has been busy.
Does he at least fix their teeth at the same time?
He removes plaque and the brain.
Hello, Lily. Check out this discovery. People no brains, blow in it, hollow noise. Oh, that's interesting, says Lily. By the way, Mila also left on Psychonauts business. Then suddenly, Lily is abducted by a giant fish monster.
Yoink. Lily!
The monster takes Lily below the lake.
Oh no.
And holds her underwater until she drowns. Raz hops into the camp's bathysphere, and he goes to rapture. He travels to the bottom of the lake. Now, down there, Raz fights the hideous, hulking lungfish. After he beats it, he enters its mind. Fish don't fucking think anything.
What are you thinking, Fish?
So, inside the mine is a miniature city. Raz is a giant, towering over the small lungfish inhabitants. Now, Raz discovers that the lungfish, the one that he fought, has actually lived a very peaceful life until one day it was captured by Oleander and the mad dentist, Dr. Loboto. Loboto mutated the fish and implanted it with a mind control device, and he forced it to kidnap the children and take them to a facility in the middle of the lake. Raz goes, that's not very good, so he seeks out the mind control device, and the device happens to be a giant broadcast tower. It's KACL Frasier.
Listen here, lungfish, you should go and kidnap those children.
Just as Raz is about to destroy the tower, another giant figure appears.
It's a bird. It's a plane. No, it's the lungfish's representation of Coach Oleander, Coach Amara.
Hey everyone! Here comes Coach Amara!
Raz beats Coach Amara, and he scales the tower. You want to have sex with another? And then Coach Amara awakens and attacks Raz. Coach Amara accidentally destroys the tower, though.
Fine. Take control of this freaky toad. I don't need him to nab children for me anymore.
Raz leaves the fish's mind, and then the lungfish says, thank you, Raz. You've done a very kind thing.
Well, okay. Show me what you did to my friend Lily.
The fish takes Raz to the facility at the center of the lake. Here you go. The facility is a collapsed mental asylum. Ooh. The name of it is Thorny Towers, and it is a home for the disturbed. Now, the lungfish tells Raz that her name is Linda. Okay, and then leaves.
What a magical lady.
At the entrance to the asylum is a security guard, and the security guard's name is Boyd Cooper.
I'm the guard. I've been fully trained.
Boyd is obsessed about conspiracy theories around the milkman. Raz hops into Boyd's mind, right? And inside, you'll never believe it.
It's a nice suburban street. Boyd is there and he's laying out all these conspiracies about where he thinks the milkman is hiding.
There's something in the fridge that might help you see the world like I do.
Ooh, sorry. I don't drink. Before noon, I mean.
Running around the suburban streets, Raz also finds a ton of sensors and government agents called G-Men. Now, these agents, they're also trying to find the milkman. We know he's in this mine somewhere. Running around Boyd's mind, Raz finds some of his memories. Now, Boyd was once a department store security guard, but unfortunately he was fired, and he had a psychotic break, he couldn't handle it. He made Molotovs out of milk bottles and burned down the department store.
What the fuck?
Because of that, he was then admitted to the asylum. There, Oleander hypnotized him and made him act as the guard to the asylum. Raz says cool, and he keeps walking around until he finds a group of little Girl Scouts who call themselves the Rainbow Squirts.
That's bad.
Now, the Rainbow Squirts are led by their den mother, and the den mother claims that she is the one that has been protecting the milkman. You shall not see the milkman. Suddenly, a bunch of censors and G-men show up at the house where the den mother is.
You're rough in here! Go, girls! Protect the milk!
The Rainbow Squirts go to war against the censors and they start fighting each other. Raz follows the den mother into a secret room, and there, he finds the milkman. The milkman is in a sleep-like state, and he's guarded by the den mother. Raz manages to defeat her. Get out of my way, I want to see the milkman.
And then the milkman suddenly wakes up. Aha! I feel very refreshed.
I am the milkman. My milk is delicious.
And the sea shall run white with his rage.
The milkman ascends and he uses his Molotovs to destroy the censors and the G-men.
Raz then suddenly awakens back in the real world. Boyd has taken on the persona of the milkman. He grabs a crate of milk bottles and enters the asylum. Raz is like, that's weird, so he follows.
I want to see how this pans out.
Now, he's wandering through the asylum, and there are jars everywhere that contain the brains of camp kids. Raz collects all the brain jars, and he heads back to the camp. Now, Cruller helps Raz replace the brains into the kids here. Push, 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 push.
Oh, it fell out the other side.
I did it. I saved everyone, says Raz. Time for me to go back into the asylum and find Loboto's secret elevator. But you can't just go in the elevator, right? Because it's guarded by a former patient, Crispin Whitehead. However, Crispin's eyesight is terrible, and he nearly mistakes Raz for Mr. Loboto. So, Raz gets an idea, why don't I just disguise myself as Loboto, and then I'll go in and get the stuff, innit? So he goes off to find some costume stuff, and on the way he meets another patient, Fred Bonaparte.
My name is Napoleon Bonaparte. I only think I'm Napoleon Bonaparte. Do not listen to the weakling. He denies his lineage because he fears it.
So Fred has a bit of a split personality. Sometimes he thinks he's Napoleon Bonaparte, and then sometimes he thinks he's himself, Fred Bonaparte.
Everybody has that.
Or do you have Zuckerbergs from the past in your head? So Raz enters Fred's mind. We have a bit of backstory on Fred. Fred was once an orderly at the asylum. He wasn't a patient. He lost a game to Crispin, and that caused his mind to snap. The ghost of his ancestor, Napoleon Bonaparte, possessed Fred because he was so mad that Fred lost a game. So the entire time, you're in Fred's mind, you're playing a game against Napoleon himself. Raz helps Fred defeat Napoleon and win a game. Raz jumps back into the real world, and Fred has managed to take control of his mind once again.
Ha! We did it, Raz! I'm all me again. One person, not French.
Fred, saying thank you, he gives Raz his straitjacket to impersonate Loboto. Here you go.
So he puts on his leather straitjacket and hops on his motorcycle, and he heads over to the next patient, a former actress, Gloria Van Guten. So Raz immediately jumps into her mind, I'm getting in. Now, inside her mind, he discovers that Gloria has been sent to a boarding school when she was young. Why does this matter at all, and who the fuck is Gloria Van Guten?
She's a famous actress.
Alright, we're showing this because the levels are good, but it's not of much consequence. Here we go. The school was to teach Gloria how to be a performer. And so Gloria became a famous actress and performer. Then her mum killed herself. And Gloria went, what? And then she broke down and went, I'm real sad and I have decided to lose my career as well. And inside Gloria's mind is a critic. It's Rotten Tomatoes.
It's her bad acting that makes the Phantom strike. Great, well, I'm off to go kill myself.
You know, you could be a more constructive critic.
Kid, if you want to see a good play, come talk to me.
Which Rez defeats, and then Gloria is able to move on from her tragedy. Thank you. Also, here's one of my awards. Oh, an Emmy. But it turns out that the award is shaped similarly to Loboto's claw hand. That will be handy. Then Rez toddles off to meet patient Edgar Teagley.
Every time it is the same. The matador, the bull, how I despise you both.
Teagley is a Mexican wrestler. He goes into his head, right? Edgar was a wrestling star in high school, right? And his girlfriend left him for the captain of the cheerleaders. Edgar was heartbroken, right? And he lost his fighting spirit. I will not fight anymore, he says. Raz helps Edgar figure out his true feelings following the breakup. You don't need no lady.
How embarrassing. I can't believe I was hung up for so long over these losers.
And he goes back to the real world, and Edgar gives him a painting of Loboto. Thanks. So, with all the materials in hand, Raz disguises himself as Dr. Loboto. Thank you. Oh, yes, I'll just walk past. Thank you, SB. He rides up the elevator. Do. And at the top of the facility, Raz runs into a hunchback old woman. Look at you, you're old. She warns him to leave, but Raz does not heed the warning, and he continues up the tower, and he sneaks into the lab, which is atop the tower.
Who is that? Why, it's Dr. Loboto. He's talking to that hunchback old woman, whose name is Shigor. Shigor is Dr. Loboto's assistant.
Right.
However, Loboto is forcing Shigor to assist him by threatening her pet turtle, Mr. Pokelope.
You a little...
Doctor, no!
A little turtle soup?
Please, Dr. Loboto, no!
Raz then spots Sasha and Mila's brains in jars near Mr. Loboto. Raz runs off. He finds Shigor. She shows him to Sasha and Mila's unbrained bodies. Lily is there too, but she still has her brain. Now, Loboto tried to take it from her, but she had a cold, and that prevented sniffing the sneezing powder, right? Blocked nose in it. Now, she is restrained, and Raz cannot free her. So, I'll do the next best thing, says Raz, and he heads back to the lab and frees Mr. Pokelope the turtle.
I was so scared. Now you're back, Mr. Pokelope, and you'll tell us what to do.
That's right, baby. Daddy's here.
And he comes up with a plan to trick Loboto. Shigor presents Mr. Pokelope's brain to Loboto as a doorstop?
Loboto is very pleased. Thank you, Shigor. You've done well. And Raz uses his psychic powers to place Mr. Pokelope's brain inside the prototype psychic tank. And the tank blasts Loboto off of the tower into the water. Shigor and Raz then put Mr. Pokelope's brain back into his head, and then Raz takes Sasha and Mia's brains, and he puts it back in their heads. Sasha and Mia free Lily. Coach Oleander then shows up, and he faces off with everyone. How dare you get rid of my dentist? Sasha and Mia say this is too dangerous for two kids, and they send Lily and Raz away as they battle the coach. Meanwhile, downstairs, the asylum patients are banding together. They want to leave. They're cured. Edgar accidentally exposes a gas line, which leaks into the facility. Boyd decides now is the perfect time to throw a Molotov cocktail and sets it all alight. The spirit of the milkman, the rainbow squirts, the G-men, and the den mother all leave him, and Boyd exclaims,
"The milkman has completed his route. You guys want to split a cab?"
Then suddenly, it's time for Sasha and Mila to fight Oleander.
They're using their mind powers.
Ford Cruller arrives. He throws sneezing powder at Oleander, gets him right in the eyes. Oleander sneezes his brain out just as the asylum explodes. Psychonauts then float down safely to join Lily and Raz. Oleander emerges from the rubble. Haha, round two.
Dun, dun, dun.
But he doesn't have a brain. And so he is just a zombie. Suddenly, a prototype tank bursts from the rubble. Haha. Fortunate Son starts playing in the background.
Okay.
A cover version, though, for copyright. Coach Oleander's brain is piloting it. He attacks the Psychonaut. Raz faces off against him, one-on-one.
It's time to do this, Oleander.
Raz manages to break the glass tank holding Oleander's brain. The tank releases sneezing powder, though, and Raz sneezes his brain out. But Raz manages to place his own brain inside the tank with Oleander.
Now minds merge together in a beautiful harmony. That's how new brains are born.
Alright, so they've merged then. Raz is thrown into a merged landscape. The mindscape is a giant circus, but there's meat around. Raz is able to discover Coach Oleander's true past. Oleander's childhood was a happy one. He loved animals. He loved rabbits.
Little bunny wabbits.
But his father was a butcher. And he also loved animals. His father took away the rabbit and murdered the rabbit in front of Oleander's eyes. When Oleander got older, he decided to join the military, but he was rejected from every branch because he was so small.
Little man.
So Oleander resented the military, and he vowed, I will make my own military, and it will be twice as good. Raz then runs around the meat circus. He helps a child version of Oleander catch rabbits. Inside the main tent, Raz faces Oleander's monstrous father. Oh,
big butcher.
You were not a nice dad.
Don't run, or else Daddy's gonna kill ya.
Raz tries to fight the butcher, but he is tossed aside easily.
Goodbye.
Raz lands inside another tent, and inside is another figure. Oh my god, this game goes on forever. A twisted vision of Raz's own father, Augustus. Raz's father scolds Raz and forces him through an acrobatic gauntlet. Raz finishes the challenge.
Yay.
His father continues to scold him, you are dumb, and I denounce you as a son. Raz's father then flees. Raz follows though. I'm gonna see what my dad's up to. The fathers have teamed up. Raz manages to best both of them. How?
He hits him.
Oh, wow, okay. And he knocks the butcher into the meat grinder in the center of the tent. Suddenly, a new figure appears. It's Raz's actual dad.
Rasputin! I see your skull is as hard to penetrate as ever.
Dad!
His father has made it to Whispering Rock. Oh god, that was a long drive. Augustus is like, oh my god, is that really how my son sees me?
Man, do I hate psychics. And seeing my son happy.
I'm so sorry, son, I don't really hate psychics. In fact, I am one. I just wanted to keep you away in order to keep you safe. And then he throws Raz's vision of him into the meat grinder. The tent shakes as a merged version of the butcher and Augustus suddenly rises out of the meat goo from the grinder. Augustus gives Raz his power. Raz projects a giant image of himself and fights the dads. Raz wins. He and his father escape the collapsing mindscape. Coach Oleander and Raz's mind start to separate. And Raz and his father leave for the real world.
We did it.
Tired of being in here, it smells.
Tell me about this Lily person.
Hey!
It's the next day, and the kids are all sitting around the campfire, and Coach Oleander says, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for what I did and the things I was.
I won't do it again. Maybe.
I'm a changed man.
Next year, there'll be different kids. We can try again.
Raz has cleared my demons. You are the best person at this whole camp. Compared to Raz, everybody's shit. So the Psychonauts organization allows Oleander to remain, since he is now sane. Boy, that's very forgiving. And also, Raz, why not take a position within the Psychonauts? You will get the coffees. So Raz accepts this prestigious position. Would you like it with milk? Raz and Lily then walk together as Raz prepares to... It's only like 2 days at camp, right? The pair suddenly share a kiss. Lily then says, I think we should just stay friends. Sasha, Mila, and Krulla descend with some bad news.
There's been another kidnapping.
I was here the whole time. You saw me.
Lily's father, his name's Truman Zenardo, he's been kidnapped. Sasha then invites Raz to help. Oh, come on.
We need photo.
Augustus turns to his son and goes, I'm so proud of you, my boy. I go, you have my blessing, son. Oh, God. Although I'm man down at the circus.
Who's going to swallow all the swords?
Lily, Sasha, Mila, Oleander, and Raz then hop into their jets.
Yeah.
Fly away.
Like the X-Men. The X-Men have a jet.
Oh, right, yeah, the X-Fighter or whatever it is. But there's no time. That would leave things at a cliffhanger.
A sequel will come in a very, very short amount of time.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Okay.
Questions.
Well, it's quite a cliffhanger ending. They're going to have a sequel out soon, aren't they?
They already released it, but yes.
Oh, that was quick.
I know, that was nice. It was nice and quick. Didn't have to wait for anything. It's a weird game, but it embraces it.
I like the levels. The colors appeal to me.
You're very visual, aren't you?
Yes.
Yeah. In the office right now, we have one of those, like, lights that you can plug in, and it just shows a projection of stars on the roof. We lose Mark in that for hours.
It's fantastic. I love it.
let's go around the table and let's just discuss some of our own mental shortcomings, shall we? I think that'd be a nice experience.
Okay. I tell you what, my mental shortcoming. I've not enough RAM in it.
Go download more RAM.
I definitely need a compassion server.
I thought you had that taken out.
No one died in this game.
No.
Okay, so basically this whole game is going into people's heads and exploring around and being like, oh, check out these furnishings. And that's like that's the idea?
Yeah, you're going into people's minds to help them clear their mental fog.
So why is it a camp?
Where else would you go to learn how to do psychic abilities? Duh.
Classroom?
Oh.
School?
Oh, yeah, true. Yeah, right.
Remote learning from home over Zoom?
Zoom learning.
How would you all decorate your mind palaces if you could bring people to them?
Oh, that's a good question. I'd probably paint it like white, like inside, 'cause then, it looks new.
I feel like yours would probably be similar to that last level. It's just meat circus everywhere.
Oh yeah, no, it's all barbecued meats.
Yeah, it's
sweet baby rays.
You can't even see anything. There's just so much smoke everywhere.
Hello everyone. I'm here in my brain. I'm live streaming from my brain.
Where are you, Jeff? What
Yeah, Jeff.
What does your brain palace look like? Your mind palace?
It's brown, like our packaging, of course. Of course. Yes. And then I think it's just like a child's astronaut room. Just spread around like all my dreams and hopes from when I was younger. No reflection of my adult, because I really lost my soul when I turned like 25. I had to sell it to get Amazon. But just everything from my childhood that I really wanted to do, which was mostly space.
I thought it would be just full of your brother.
I've got a corner for that.
Yeah, okay, right.
Is that you, Bill?
Do you ever see that Xbox conference where they had The Rock on stage and he was wearing like a leather jacket and sunglasses? It's just that. Right, okay. But like, slightly bigger.
You're slightly bigger or The Rock is slightly bigger?
The Rock.
Alright. I think that's about it. They spelt psycho wrong. There's a P at the beginning.